Hi, I'm Rebecca Olson, CEO of the Maryland Association of CPAs. This year, we're thrilled to once again host the MACPA Foundation's Women to Watch Awards. We're excited to celebrate 30 amazing female leaders in our profession. And these awards not only recognize their success and contributions, but also inspire the next generation of leaders. Join me now for a brief interview with one of our incredible honorees, and we hope to see you in person on September 26th at our Women to Watch Awards breakfast.
I'm Dara Castle, and I am with RSM, and the roles that I serve in RSM are as the market leader for our Mid-Atlantic market, and that is from Baltimore, Maryland, down to Richmond, Virginia. And then nationally, I also lead our government contracting practice. I am a native of Maryland, born and raised Montgomery County girl. I am a little bit past a newlywed, and I am the mother of two beautiful boys and the stepmother of two beautiful girls.
Dara, as a leader at RSM, I'm sure there's just many accomplishments throughout your career, and many more to come, I would imagine as well. But I wondered if there was one that you might be most proud of in your career thus far.
So if you'll indulge me, I sort of have two.
Of course.
The first one is about 7 or 8 years ago, some leaders in the firm came to me and asked if I would be interested in leading our women's initiative. And I said, you've got the wrong person. I am not a woman who has believed that, I need to hang a handicap tag from my rearview mirror because I'm a woman in business. I rather think of it as a differentiator and a way to be successful. And they said, that's exactly why we want you to lead that initiative. And I will tell you, it was with a lot of reservations that I accepted that extremely important role. And over the next 4 years, the RSM leadership so completely and entirely supported our initiative, our programming, and our attempt to really elevate the opportunity for women in RSM, but also to really elevate the male allies of women in RSM. And at the beginning of that 4-year period, we had about 320 members of our women's initiative. And by the end of those 4 years, it was well over 4,000. And so that's just one measure of the impact. I would say that one of the reasons why this was one of the two things that I am most proud of in my career is the number of times that I had a woman who would send me a note or give me a call or run into me in a hallway or at a conference and say, that message that you sent made my day. I was having a terrible day and you really got me over the hump. Or I had just suffered a disappointment and I took this training that you had developed and it really showed me my path to success, and just really feeling so intimately how the team that I led was impacting not only the success, but also the career gratification of so many women at RSM. It was an honor and humbling and incredibly rewarding. The second accomplishment is a little more business-like. In my role as the leader of our government contracting practice, I've had the good fortune to, again, have the support of RSM's leadership to take what had for decades been a very Washington metropolitan area centric practice that was built mostly around audit, tax, and transaction advisory services. And over the last 4 years, since I stepped down from my women's initiative role, I've been able to work with leaders across all of the service lines that RSM represents to truly create a national government contracting practice with almost all of the services that RSM offers being tailored to the unique needs of the government contractor. And so today we have government contractors in virtually every industry and every market in America. And I'm really proud of how this team has come together to be a team within RSM and to represent the needs of the government contractor.
Those are two amazing accomplishments, one more internal and one more external with clients. And so that is certainly a very huge accomplishment. As you talked about your role in your women's initiatives, I could hear all of the people that view you as a mentor and a role model, and just your pride in that, being able to impact other people's careers. And I wonder, who was that for you? Who helped you or inspired you along your career?
So I'm fortunate in that I have had mentors and champions really at every step of my career. And I think maybe I was fortunate that I recognized early on how important it was to have that support and that person who um, gave you the unvarnished truth, but with someone who you always knew had your best interest at heart. And so there is one standout. His name is Bill Gorman, and for the last many years, he's been the chief operating officer of RSM. But I was very fortunate that I met him relatively early in my career when our two firms had merged, and he was a local Baltimore guy, and I was a DC CPA, and he became a mentor to me fairly soon into our relationship, and has really always been in my corner, both in good times and in bad, and delivered the hardest messages and the most joyful ones and everything in between, and have been appreciative of his guidance, his support, and his caring every step of the way.
It's awesome to have those role models, those allies, to really inspire us and help us along our career. Because everybody, it takes a village. Everybody needs those folks in their corner. As we think about the next generation of accounting and finance leaders, and as we think about how the profession has continued to evolve, right? We're a continuous learning profession. Change is part of our DNA, right? What advice would you give to a young person really as they're entering this profession?
So I think we need to make being a CPA sexy again.
Yes.
I think that over the last decade or so, um, we have not kept the perception of what a CPA does up to date with what a CPA really does. And I think that today, and rapidly changing and accelerating into the future, we're going to find more and more ways to use artificial intelligence, digital technology to do some of the more mundane things that have been a part of learning the accounting or the tax concepts of accounting. But what we've known in our profession for a long time is learning those that's the table stakes. But what you're really getting to in the role of the CPA is to be the trusted advisor of the business or the individual. And that requires human relationships. And it also requires interpretations and intelligence that I don't think tools and technology are going to replace. And so I think that doers could have a lot of their jobs replaced with technology, but I think relationships will sustain. And so the fun and the cool and the sexy part of being a CPA is the human interaction of developing our people into the thinkers that our clients value, and developing our trust and our relationship with our clients to understand what they don't know, to understand how we engage as their partner to help them achieve their financial and their business goals. And I think if we get back to the real kind of pot of gold at the end of the rainbow of being a CPA, we will draw more people back to the profession.
Absolutely. Is that bringing sexy back to the accounting profession? I love
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yes. So MACPA has been talking about this a lot too, of how we change that narrative, that those stereotypes that have become so prevalent. And one of the ways that we've kind of focused on it is how we really narrow in on purpose and impact that the CPA and the profession really provides, not just to business and obviously our clients and things like that, but also to greater the society and our communities. And so, Dara, for you, what would you say is your CPA purpose? What impact do you see your work?
So I think my impact kind of covers three categories. So the first impact would be I found myself in a number of situations where people who have a different profession or a different skill set have a need to know some basic level of accounting to be successful in the type of business that they do. And so um, normally outside of my actual role in RSM, I've had opportunities. My purpose has extended itself to you musicians or doctors or therapists who need to understand how their business is impacted by accounting and by finance. I'd say the second category is, as I was describing, how we can bring sexy back to CPAs. I really love the role of my role as a CPA of developing the future talent, the future CPAs, and helping them understand that at least in the public accounting side of the profession, you become a business leader inside of a business. It's such a young age. You are at a manager level, you are engaged in not only delivering our service to a client, but developing the relationship with the client. You have a role in billing the client. You have a role in developing new business in the marketplace. You have responsibility for the technical excellence. And if you think about it, those are all elements of running a business. And so you're running a business within a business. Your book of business is part of the business. And so I enjoy bringing talent along in learning all of the business acumen necessary to be a successful CPA. And then, of course, the last piece is our clients. And I truly enjoy the client engagement and the opportunity to help very dynamic, fast-growing, complex middle market businesses achieve not only their financial goals, but their business goals, because so much of what we do in public accounting extends far beyond the financial aspects, but certainly impacts the financial results. And so helping our clients overcome obstacles and achieve their objectives, seize their opportunities is part of my purpose as a CPA.
Absolutely, right. That CPA extends to so many areas and such opportunities for folks. As a leader, both internally at RSM, leading the region, and then externally in terms of especially the government contractor space, I'm curious for you, Dara, what would you say being a leader means?
Um, gosh, there's so much to that
Yeah.
answer. Being a leader means looking at what it takes to succeed and be successful and leading into providing to others, whether the others are your clients or your team, your people, the tools necessary to bring out the very best in each one, and leading selflessly for the good of the cause, the final objective.